In my humble opinion, this is one of the world's most beautiful economy class cabins. But don't just let my spoken words sway your thoughts. That's what this video is for. In this episode, we go through the economy class service of China Airlines, 中华航空公司, the proud little flag carrier of Taiwan.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
And good day guys, welcome back to my video, and I'm coming to you from Melbourne International Airport right here in Tullamarine. I'm destined for Terminal 2 behind me, which only means that I'm getting on an international flight to start my new travel series. So tonight I'm actually destined for Japan with China Airlines. So let's start the experience by saying 你好，今日今日坐中華航空對墨爾本飛往台北. That's right, so China Airlines is going to take me on this first sector between Melbourne and Taipei. So this entire journey from here to Japan will be done in economy class. So come along with me and let's get on the first sector right here tonight. Let's do this.
Everybody just do your thing.
If you're new to my channel, my name's Ryan. Born and bred in Singapore, I now live in Australia, and I create heaps of travel and food-related content. This travel series sees me set foot in 8 cities in 4 countries over the course of 2 weeks. My first international port of entry is in Sapporo, Japan, where I feast my way through this extremely chilly capital city of Hokkaido. The wonderful first-class hospitality of Japan Airlines leaves me impressively speechless as they take me to Osaka, where the amazing culinary journey continued. My visit in Japan concluded in Tokyo. So much to see, so much to eat. Japan Airlines then takes me to China, where I experience some of the most frustrating airport transfers I've ever done in Shanghai Pudong, before my old friend China Airlines takes me to Taiwan. Kaohsiung feeds me very well as I explore this southern port city. I say hello to Kinmen for a short stay before ending up in Taipei, where the colorful and vibrant foodie scene is second to none. There's lots to unpack in this series, filled with flight reviews, train journeys, and destination vlogs. And these videos will be linked in the description in chronological order when they're published. If you'd like to make a direct impact into the growth of my channel, give me a like and share this video with a friend. Even better, hit subscribe and the bell icon so you won't miss the next exciting episode of this series. So here's the thanks, because your support is very much appreciated. First things first, I'd like to clear up the common confusion between China Airlines and Air China. The one I'm on tonight is based in Taoyuan Airport, serving the city of Taipei, and is the flag carrier of Taiwan, itself a sovereign country depending on which part of the Chinese political spectrum you fall under. Air China is the flag carrier of the People's Republic of China, based in the airports of Beijing Capital and Beijing Daxing. Tonight I was on flight CI58, the daily evening Melbourne to Taipei flight, and this one was especially full because Taiwan had a typhoon a week ago and a lot of travelers changed their flights to later ones. So the chances of getting an empty seat next to me on this red-eye flight in economy class was zilch. Wow, just look at the chaos behind me. This is 3.5 hours before departure, so the lines are pretty full at the back. Yeah, so I've got the boarding passes all done for both sectors. So the first sector is from Melbourne to Taipei, and the second sector is from Taipei to Chitose in Sapporo, Hokkaido in Japan. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very long journey. So check-in is all done. So now let's head to immigration, and yeah, it's time to fly away from Australia. So let's do this, guys. Even though Melbourne Airport is technically opened 24/7, activity from flights taper down for the day at this time of the night. Especially here at the international terminal, you'll see it almost feels like an episode of The Walking Dead. Very different from the morning peak hour scenery I'm used to whenever I depart on an international flight. The long-haul fleet of China Airlines consists of 10 Boeing 777-300ERs and 15 Airbus A350-900s. The latter is deployed to the Australian destinations of Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne. Operating flight CI58 tonight is Bravo 18907, an Airbus A350-900 series which first flew in May 2017. Making her 7.5 years old at the time of writing. Boarding was a little chaotic because agents were holding up little flimsy plastic signs which no one could read from a distance, and making announcements without the help of speakers, so no one could really hear what they were saying. To add to the confusion, there were no signs for business class, leading to the frustration of several passengers in that cabin. Gotta love the organized chaos of ground handlers at this airport. The same boarding method using these signs are used by China Airlines at Taoyuan Airport, but it is a lot more orderly there. I've been eagerly looking forward to this flight for months ever since I made the booking. I was seriously impressed by their stunning looking business class when I flew them last year. And now, I wanted to see if the economy cabin is just as breathtaking. Let's just take a second to absorb this stylish, moody ambiance, which doesn't just stop at the business cabin, but is also extended back here towards the end of the aircraft. Their long-haul planes are configured into 3 classes, with 32 in business, 31 in premium economy, and for the bulk of passengers, 243 of us will be calling this home for the night in this extremely full flight, with no seats to spare. This dark setting is meant to invoke a relaxing environment of a typical Taiwanese tea house, and the lush earthy tones and wooden accents do seriously put you immediately at ease, as if you're in a spa, getting ready for a full body massage. The flight attendants do their part by welcoming us softly, with gentle tones, urging us to get settled ASAP, putting us under a spell, so we'd be floating onto our seats. Very, very calming. On our seats, we had a blanket and pillow. Earbuds were placed at a container at the door as we boarded. But if you are blind and miss that, the flight attendants would later pass them out in flight as well. There is a huge 11-inch PTV to keep you occupied, and it was now showing various sights around Taiwan. The pitch is a generous 32 inches, and located down there is a universal power outlet, which would mysteriously stop working mid-flight. I find bifold tray tables very useful, and wonder why don't more airlines install this. More airlines are now ditching in-flight magazines, and sadly, China Airlines is one of them. They are part of the COVID cutbacks which are now gone forever. There is an adjustable headrest for you to fiddle with all night long, and an extremely generous seat recline. All this in theory would set you up for a comfortable long-haul flight. I noticed a lot of North Asian airlines do not have individual air vents, which could mean a very stuffy aircraft on the ground. And tonight, I was getting a little moist.
贵宾大的关安， 欢迎各位来坐咱天下里面成员中华航空 CI0584次班机，对 Melbourne 到台北。咱今日的飞行时间就爱8点钟到45分。即马请进驻观赏各种语言人才在示范，多谢。
My heart was pounding so heavily within my chest cavity because the excitement of embarking on this trip was most unbearable. And with this takeoff, I was finally on my way. Flight CI58 would head north and coast out of our giant continent from the Northern Territory east of Darwin, then head over the archipelagos of Indonesia and the Philippines. Hitting south of Taiwan over Kaohsiung, the flight would skim the northern coastline before descending into Taoyuan International Airport, clocking a total flight time of 8 hours 41 minutes, covering a distance of just over 7,400 kilometers. The IFE on China Airlines is one of the better ones in the business. It's rather extensive, and it is way better than the ones you'd find on airlines from mainland China. The flight map is from Panasonic Avionics, so you're able to move it about to zoom in and out with your fingers. So it's a good thing this touchscreen is sensitive and there is no lag. Sleep was paramount on this flight, so I just let the screen run on this flight map program. If you choose not to sleep, earbuds like these were available for pickup as we boarded the aircraft earlier on, or the cabin crew would distribute them before drink service commenced. I did not intend to use them at all, so I passed them on to my seat neighbor. I do think these earbuds are so much better than headphones because the latter seem to have a problem molding to the shape of my head. The first drink service for this red-eye flight was a diluted version. It was just trays of passion fruit and peach juice for your picking, so there really wasn't much of a choice. An hour 10 minutes after we pushed back, the main meal has finally arrived. There was a choice between a chili bean chicken with rice, and my choice was the stewed beef and mushrooms with beans and potatoes. More comprehensive drink choices were available with the main meal, which included a whole range of soft drinks, juices, and alcohol. The beef actually looked a lot better than it tasted. I was having serious menu envy because my neighbor's chili bean chicken with rice definitely looked a lot tastier. I found my beef to be a little bland, and I'm wondering if they got their catering cues from Jenny Craig. The taste profile, with a severe lack of seasoning, was definitely meant for Weight Watchers Anonymous. There was tea and coffee service after dinner, but I chose not to have any, preferring to give the toilet a quick run and enjoying the elevator music within. Yes, there was a soothing saxophone going on within, which I thought was pretty cool. But I won't play it here in case I get a copyright claim. Are there any aircraft toilets we've been to which plays music within? Let me know in the comments. Despite that rather elaborate drink and meal service, everything was completed in just over 45 minutes. Somewhere over Northern Territory, lights were turned off as we began the impossible task of trying to get some sleep. It was after all just after 1:30 AM in Melbourne, and my body clock was screaming for me to get some shut-eye. But my brain had other ideas. I tried to ignore the rumbling in my head, but like an annoying housefly in summer, my brain was buzzing silently how there was just no way for me to get comfy sitting upright like this. As our aircraft entered the Philippines, lights came on in preparation for the arrival meal, which was a warm option of egg noodles with oyster sauce chicken, or the frittata and bacon with beans and potatoes. The menu options are available for your perusal on the IFE, which I thought was very useful. I decided on the Asian option this time, which was accompanied by a bread roll, fruits, yogurt, and a cup of tea. This serve of chicken noodles tasted 100 times better than dinner, because it was restaurant quality and very satisfying with chunky pieces of chicken thighs and very flavorful egg noodles. I think Uncle Roger would be very happy, and there's none of that whitewash nonsense going on here. No surprise, I finished every last strand of noodles. As we continued our way past the Philippines, it wasn't long before arrival announcements were being made and the cabin prepped for our impending descent into Taoyuan International Airport. Suppose this is the perfect time to sum up the first episode of this travel series, flying China Airlines on this almost 9-hour red-eye flight from Melbourne to Taipei. There have been talks over the decades of a name change for China Airlines. This airline very frequently gets lumped in together with airlines from mainland China. And more often than not, a lot of prospective travelers tend to think lesser of China Airlines because of this. Because let's face it, Chinese airlines do not have a stellar reputation. But the Taiwanese do things a little differently. Firstly, the hospitality. Just like the Thais, Filipinos, and Indonesians, Taiwanese hospitality is second nature. And if you've traveled to Taiwan before, you'll know what I mean. The warm, caring nature cannot be taught in classrooms, and this kind of behavior of respectful, thoughtful service have been instilled in the everyday life of a typical Taiwanese. These flight attendants were also very effortlessly multilingual, fluttering very easily between Mandarin and English. In-flight service on China Airlines is definitely a textbook example on how to do in-flight service. While all that was great, there were definitely flaws on this journey today. That chaotic boarding sequence in Melbourne was most embarrassing. I wonder if there was staff in training, because I saw a uniformed China Airlines staff member coaching random individuals on how the airline does boarding. Still, the missing business class line was most puzzling. A handful of passengers did voice their displeasure at the confusion. And the malfunctioning power outlets. After dinner, the universal power port and USB chargers under the TV decided to say goodbye to this cruel world. It's a good thing I have a relatively new mobile phone with a strong battery life, and my GoPro had extra battery packs on standby. Otherwise, filming for this trip report would have ended very abruptly. Finally, that ultra bland dinner. Lesson learned. When flying an Asian airline, pick the Asian option. Ultimately, all journeys have good and bad points. Unless you live in a world of Sam Tree, where everything is a technicolor explosion of sunshine, glitter, and PR spin. That being said, in a world where most major airlines have become a sea of grey and beige, cutting back their services, China Airlines still holds strong by enhancing their brand and showcasing this lush and velvety economy product. And that beautiful cabin is hard to beat. Do you agree with my assessment calling it the world's most beautiful economy class? Let me know in the comments. For now, let's prepare for our arrival into Taipei Taoyuan 国际机场.
Way back a year ago.
Well guys, and that was the end of sector number 1 from Melbourne to Taipei with China Airlines. I've just completed the transfer process and now I'm on the departure airside of Taipei Taoyuan International Airport. I've got about a 3-hour wait before my next flight to Chitose, New Chitose Airport in Sapporo, so I will keep that for another review. So anyway, in the meantime, I've chuck details of my Instagram on your screen right now, so hit me up there and chuck me a follow so you can come along with me on my travels in real time. And of course, more importantly, do not forget to hit subscribe and the bell notification icon so you know every time when I get on board such a beautiful economy class cabin again. And I'll see you for the next video. Bye!